Today, we're diving deep into the annals of catkind to unearth 5 incredible facts about our feline overlords that'll leave you saying, "No way, that's positively amazing." Picture this. It's 9,000 years ago in the Near East, the cradle of civilization. Humans have just figured out this whole agriculture thing, and they're sitting on stockpiles of grain. Now, where there's grain, there are rats, and where there are rats, enter the wildcat. Unlike their modern-day house cat descendants, these guys were all about that solitary hunter life. But a free buffet of rodents? That's a temptation even the wildest cat can't resist. So these savvy felines start hanging around human settlements, picking off pests like it's nobody's business. The humans, initially wary, quickly realize these furry little ninjas are worth their weight in gold. Over time, those wildcats, drawn in by the promise of easy meals, began to tolerate human presence. They became less wary, more comfortable, and eventually domesticated. And the rest, as they say, is history. Okay, so we know cats were domesticated around 9,000 years ago, but where did these pioneering kitties come from? Genetic evidence points us to the sun-drenched landscapes of Africa, specifically to a sleek, sandy-colored creature known as the African wildcat, or Felis sylvestris libica. The African wildcat was a creature of the desert, a solitary hunter perfectly adapted to survive in harsh conditions. They were smaller than many domesticated cats today, with longer legs and a distinctive black-tipped tail. But just like their modern descendants, these wildcats were incredibly intelligent and resourceful. They were masters of stealth, capable of taking down prey much larger than themselves. As humans encroached further into their territory, offering up those irresistible rodent buffets, the African wildcats underwent a remarkable transformation. Eventually, they became the ancestors of nearly every domesticated cat alive today. From pest control to divinity, cats in ancient Egypt. Let's fast forward a few thousand years to ancient Egypt, a civilization obsessed with cats. These Egyptians weren't just cat people, they were cat worshippers. Cats in ancient Egypt were the VIPs of the animal kingdom. They were revered as protectors, symbols of grace and divinity. The Egyptians depended heavily on agriculture, and their crops were constantly under threat from rodents. Cats, with their natural hunting instincts, were like tiny, furry guardians, protecting the Egyptians' livelihoods. They became associated with Bastet, the goddess of protection, fertility, and, you guessed it, cats. Temples were erected in her honor, adorned with statues of sleek, powerful felines. Owning a cat became a symbol of good fortune, and harming one? Well, let's just say you didn't want to incur the wrath of cat goddess Bastet. From the sunny shores of the Nile, we travel to the dark and often superstitious world of medieval Europe. Sadly, this era wasn't kind to our feline friends. The Middle Ages saw a dramatic shift in how cats were perceived. No longer revered as divine protectors, they became associated with darkness, witchcraft, and the supernatural. Black cats, in particular, were feared and demonized. This fear and suspicion led to the widespread persecution of cats, with countless innocent creatures meeting tragic ends. Ironically, this mass extermination of cats had devastating consequences. Without these natural pest controllers, the rodent population exploded, contributing to the spread of the Black Death. The very creatures demonized for spreading disease were, in reality, essential to preventing it. From alley cats to armchair companions, the modern cat is born. Thankfully, the dark days of the Middle Ages eventually gave way to a new era of enlightenment. The 19th century saw a surge in cat ownership, particularly among the growing middle class. As cities expanded and urban living became the norm, cats transitioned from working animals to cherished companions. No longer relegated to barns and alleyways, they were welcomed into homes, where they brought comfort, companionship, and yes, even a touch of elegance. The Victorian era in particular adored cats, with writers like Charles Dickens and Lewis Carroll featuring them prominently in their work. This newfound appreciation for cats also sparked an interest in selective breeding. People began to intentionally breed cats for specific traits, leading to the development of the diverse array of cat breeds we know and love today. Well, there you have it. 5 fascinating facts about our feline friends that prove they're much more than just adorable fluffballs. They're ancient creatures with a rich history, a spiritual side, and a knack for bouncing back from adversity. Thanks for joining us on this journey through cat history. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more possum content, and share this video with your fellow cat enthusiasts.